Hi team, and welcome to this week's topic. So today we are looking at all things fatigue, sleep deprivation, and struggling with low energy. So these are really common things that are associated with menopause. It is something that I find comes up time and time again with clients who are going through menopause, and it's just something in particular they really struggle with. Sleep is so important to us, as we all know. We know how important it is to our daily lives, how well we function, how we go on with our lifestyles, our jobs, our relationships, all these kind of things. Our sleep or lack of it can impact it so much. And if you throw in obviously everything else that goes with your menopause and your symptoms, feeling exhausted on top of all that isn't great. And if you're trying to get the best out of yourself through your training, watching your diet, or making changes to these things and just trying to improve your lifestyle, it can be really frustrating when you just feel like you're always exhausted and there's no way around it. You're trying to better all these things, but you just can't because you're knackered. And I don't mean, fatigue as in, or feeling tired as in, you've had a couple of like rubbish nights sleep. For menopausal women, it can affect your concentration. It can affect, like I said, your relationships. You can feel quite grumpy and down in the dumps, and it really can take its toll if you've had so many nights in a trot without sleeping, or having really disruptive sleeps, or waking up with hot flushes, all these kind of things. It can really start to get you down after a while. Just for people of any other age who aren't even going through menopause, it can take its toll on you if you're feeling a bit sleep deprived. So if you have got sleep deprivation on top of everything else and the stresses that you have going on in your life, and trying to juggle so many things, and you're knackered, absolutely fatigued, exhausted, then yeah, it's going to be a tough time. So this is why we want to look at addressing this and seeing what you can do to try and get more energized, to get better quality sleep, to even get to sleep at all. I know that's a really big one, is just actually trying to switch off and get to sleep. That's a really tough one for a lot of women at this time in their life. So that's what we're going to look at today. So I'm going to share my screen and show you. Well, you should have a copy of this as well. It's a little PDF. So you might not be looking at it just now, but that's absolutely fine. There is stuff on it for you to do. Give me a second. Right. Here we go. No. There we go. That's just a little after. So this is all about more energy. So this is in the Zest for Life section. So as you know, whenever I've spoken to you about the different sections on the programme, Zest for Life is a big one, because it's all about, sorry, I should have done that right. Yeah, it's all about making sure that you're getting the most from this programme to improve your quality of life. So obviously it's important that if you're wanting to lose weight and feel fitter and all these kind of things, but you want these things because you want the rest of your life to have a positive impact on it. Okay, so the more energy is also about getting more energy and making you feel better. So like I said, diet and exercise can heavily influence your energy levels. So it's like if maybe we've not been eating optimally, I'll not say we've been eating crap or eating bad, because we're getting away from using that kind of chat. But if you've maybe not been eating optimally, and by that I mean you might have been having more sugar than normal, more chocolate than normal, more like crisps or snacky things, then you might not be feeling so great if you've not been having enough micronutrients. So like if you've not been eating enough fruit and veg and all that kind of thing, you might feel a little bit lethargic and all the rest of it. And that's totally normal. We go through phases of that if we've even been out for a big meal, and after you just feel a bit, like hitting a carb coma and all these kind of things that we laugh about. But that is a common thing. So your diet and exercise can heavily influence your energy levels. If you've not been very active during the day, if maybe you've been stuck working at your desk all day, and you might just feel a bit knackered towards the end of it because you've not been moving very much, then again, that's going to affect how you're feeling, maybe a bit sluggish, all that kind of thing. And vice versa, if you're not sleeping well, then that's probably going to influence how you eat. So you'll see from the wee excellent graphic that I've made here, that poor sleep can in turn make you feel lethargic, and then it can make you crave comfort food. So you're maybe not wanting to eat so well because you're tired and you just want something that's delicious and calorific and all these kind of things. And that's absolutely cool that that happens. But if that's happening on like a regular basis, then what's going to happen is you're going to eat maybe a little too much, you're going to overconsume calories, and if you're not moving much, or maybe not feeling like you want to move much, then you'll typically gain weight from that. And if you're trying to lose weight or prevent yourself from losing weight, or finding that you're gaining weight in menopause, then this is probably because of this. If you're not sleeping well, then it just has an impact on everything else. Feeling lethargic, turning to comfort food, not eating too well, not particularly looking after yourself, feeling less active, and then because you're not eating well and not being active, then that also causes you to sleep poorly, and then that vicious cycle just continues. So that is what we're kind of wanting to come away from, is breaking that vicious cycle and making sure that you're getting a better quality of sleep so you can make better food decisions, so you have more energy and you're more likely to be active, and then therefore have a better quality of sleep. And then we get into a positive cycle rather than a vicious cycle. So these are things that come with fatigue, low energy, and sleep. Now, I might be telling you this and you're thinking, I'm singing to the choir here, you know it, you're going through it, and all that kind of thing. So you're feeling mentally and physically exhausted. Yeah, I think that's fair to say that a lot of people will go through that. A lot of women will go through that in menopause. They've just got so many things going on, and they're trying to go about their daily life and do their jobs, look after their family, have all these responsibilities, as well as going through a really big change in their life. And this can be due to unpredictable hormone fluctuations. I will say that, obviously I'm not a doctor, but I will say that if you are finding your hormones are just totally out of whack and causing a lot of disruption, then go and see your GP and talk to them about HRT. Your hormone replacement treatment will hopefully help at least regulate your hormones to some extent and help you sleep better, and help you think straight and help you have a bit more energy if that is what is causing your lack of sleep. Okay, so that's something you want to discuss with your GP. It's not something that I can help you with because I'm a doctor. But I will say, know about your HRT, chat to your doctor about it, and don't really take no for an answer. I think that's a common one that I've found with a lot of clients, is that they've kind of had to push a little bit for it, but it can be an absolute game changer, and it's totally worth hassling your doctor for, I think. Consistent lack of sleep. So yeah, that's just going to make you feel rubbish. If you're not sleeping well for nights on end, weeks on end, it's going to catch up with you. If you've had kids, then it might all be coming back to you. If you're maybe just someone who's not particularly slept well throughout their life, and if you've always struggled with sleep, it might be heightened even more so in menopause, and you're just lying there waiting for sleep to come, or you're having disruptive sleeps. And that could be waking up during the night. We'll come to that later on through this wee chat here, but having hot flushes during the night, waking up in sweats, and struggling to get back to sleep, or maybe just pinging awake in the middle of the night. Your brain is going 100 miles an hour, and that is you just can't get back to sleep again. And that is going to obviously affect you the next day. You've not had a good quality of sleep. It's been really disruptive and restless, and it can impact your concentration, your emotions. You might be feeling sad, a bit depressed, a bit down the dumps. You might be grumpy, irritable. I know I'm like that if I don't have a good sleep at the best of times. Never mind if you're having that night after night, week after week. It'll definitely take a toll on you. And then because your emotions are all heightened and you're not feeling great, you're not feeling the best, relationships might start to suffer. You might be a bit snappy with people, have less patience, like I said, be more irritable, and just maybe feel a bit less sociable as well, which isn't fair. Again, that's a really big one that isn't discussed often with menopause, how important it is for you to be able to socialise, go out with your friends, spend time with your friends, family, loved ones. But if you are feeling depressed, if you're feeling really low energy, exhausted, you're not going to want to do these things, and that is impacting your lifestyle, and it's negatively impacting your lifestyle, and we want to make sure you're getting the best okay, we want to make sure you're feeling as good as you can. And if your sleep is getting in the way, then it's really not ideal. And same goes for professional performance. A lot of menopausal women feel like they struggle to concentrate, like I just mentioned, but they struggle to get tasks completed, simple things that they would do in 2 minutes in their work. It's like they're working through mud, their brain is just feeling really thick and sluggish. And obviously that's not great if you're trying to get work done, if you've maybe got a high stress job, if you've got a lot of responsibility, then again, that's going to be quite tough for you to try and overcome. And if that's because of lack of sleep, then that's really going to make you struggle. And like I said, lifestyle in general, that's just impacting how you go about your daily life. Simple tasks make you feel exhausted. Even cleaning your house or trying to tidy up, and you're just feeling absolutely done in. If your workouts are suffering from it, if maybe you're someone who is quite active, if you cycle, if you jog, if you go for walks, things like that, walking your dog, it might seem like a big task. Whereas before it was something that you would do no bother, even for if you're spending time with your kids or grandkids and you just feel absolutely drained from it. And that's something that's been really common. And like I said, it's common, but it's not normal. So I've put here 2/3 of postmenopausal women have trouble sleeping at night, and 90% have reported feeling fatigued. Now they are major numbers. That is like so many women experiencing this and going about their daily lives feeling absolutely shattered. And you don't really hear about it. It's one of those things people, oh, it's just your hormones. It's like when you're a teenager and going through changes and people, don't mind them, it's just the hormones. It's like, oh, do you know what? Your body's going through a major change. It's not just your hormones. This is a big deal. And if like half the population at some point are going to experience this and are struggling to deal with everything because they're not being able to sleep, it's not good enough. And we want to make sure that you can get to sleep so that you can function properly, because you deserve to be able to function properly, basically. So we'll go on to the next one here. So we'll look at hot flushes. So like I just mentioned, that is one of the major causes for disruptive sleeps. So for menopausal women, they're waking up in the middle of the night, they're having sweats, they're having chills, might experience anxiety, heart palpitations, nausea, and stomach cramps, just to name a few of the things that they are waking up in the middle of the night with. So you finally drifted off to sleep, and then you're waking up. Your bedclothes are absolutely drenched, you're soaking, you're cold, and you're just, imagine your heart racing in the middle of the night. These kind of things, it's not something you want to wake up with. And then once you've woken up, trying to then get back to sleep again is going to be a really hard task. So even for people that have had like COVID and things like that, and they've experienced sweats in their bedclothes absolutely soaking and having to get up and change all the time and just feeling absolutely miserable. Like there's women that are going through that frequently. Like it might not be every single night, but it's too much to try and cope with if you're trying to get to sleep, get back to sleep, and then go about your daily life the next day. Like it's hard. It must be so difficult. And if you really suffer with hot flushes, again, HRT, talk to your doctor about it if you haven't already. I mean, we will say as well, you probably know, but not all women can take it, depending on like certain health risks and stuff that are associated with it. But there are so many benefits if you are able to take it. So definitely talk to your GP if you suffer with hot flushes. But I've listed some suggestions that might be able to help out if you do struggle with hot flushes and maybe aren't able to take HRT, or you want to try these things first before going to HRT, or to do this along with your HRT as well. So one is fresh pyjamas and sheets. That's a bit of a no-brainer. If you're waking up in the middle of the night drenched in sweat, then if you have some fresh pyjamas and sheets to change, then that would be class. If you are sharing a bed with a partner, then you might need to give them a nudge and get them out the road so you can change the sheets, but that is just something that they need to deal with, and I think they should experience this with you. But yeah, if you have some fresh pyjamas to change into, it'll just make you feel a little bit better, and hopefully help you get to sleep again. Okay, a temperature control pad, that's something that a client mentioned to me before, that she got and she invested in this. I don't think it was very cheap. There are probably a lot of alternatives you shop about, but a temperature control pad to sleep on she said it was a game changer. Like, it just helped keep her cool. She wasn't sticking to her bed sheets and all the rest of it, and she just felt like that was a really worthwhile investment, as maybe moisture wicking sheets. So again, like obviously workout clothes and stuff, it's going to take that moisture away from you. If you find you're getting really hot and sweaty during the night, then hopefully that will keep you cool and stop you from waking up with a hot flush. Your room temperature, if you like a cozy room, then you might want to think about changing that. Opening a window, if you've got aircon, sticking that on. If you've got a fan, maybe sleeping with that on, or just keeping your room cool in advance. So maybe having the window open about an hour before you go to bed to try and cool the room down so that it's cool for you going to bed. And maybe just keeping that window open so that it stays as cool as possible during the night and you're not going to be overheating. Keeping some water beside your bed just in case you do wake up and you're just in the throes of a hot flush and you just need some water to try and cool you back down, and maybe calm you down as well. If you're waking up and you're feeling quite anxious or feeling sick, then having like a glass of water or something beside your bed might be quite nice, just to kind of try and calm you back down again. Having no distractions, so if possible, keep your phone away from your bed so you're not tempted to roll over, start doom scrolling, or if you're waking up in the middle of the night, checking your phone, and then before you know it, half an hour's passed and you're scrolling on something on the Daily Mail, God knows what, down some kind of internet rabbit hole. So if you can, try not to have any distractions like your phone or your tablet, not having the TV on. I know it's tempting if you wake up in the middle of the night and you're struggling to get back to sleep to turn the TV on or to have something to try and distract you, but try not to, because that's just going to switch your brain back on again and make you alert, and then it'll be even more difficult to get back to sleep. Breathing, so diaphragmatic breathing is an amazing tool that might help calm you back down if you're experiencing heart palpitations, nausea, anxiety, all these kind of things. It's a great way to just calm your heart rate back down, just get in tune with your breathing and focus on your breathing and take your mind off of other things. So if you're lying there thinking about all the things you need to do tomorrow, or all the things that are going on in your mind, if your brain's pure buzzing, then it might be nice just to take the time to just lie there, think about your breaths, and just try and calm down and just keep that going until you feel yourself start to drift off. So the breathing, and I say diaphragmatic breathing, I mean like breathing deep into your tummy, breathing deep into your belly rather than shallow breaths up here in your chest. You want to be taking nice deep breaths right down into your stomach. So I think I did a video like that before on an email. If you've not received it, I'll add a link on actually to the end of this so that you can access it. And it's just a quick YouTube video and it teaches you how to do some nice breaths. So for example, you can breathe in through your nose for 4 counts, hold it for 5, and then exhale through your mouth for 8 counts. And that nice, slow, controlled breathing should help calm you down. And just if you're focusing on that, it'll take your mind off of other things and hopefully you'll just drift back off to sleep. And then I've put obviously HRT. So if you're just, I know a lot of people, a lot of women want to avoid that if they can, and try a lot of alternative remedies and things like acupuncture. I've heard people trying that, all these other alternative remedies, but at the end of the day, HRT might be what you need. So it's worth having that discussion with your GP. So another cause, staying alert. So we kind of touched on that already, having distractions in your room. So like doom scrolling, TV binging, if you're on a really fire TV series and you're just totally hooked on it and like another episode, or just one more episode, whatever. And before we know it, hours and hours have passed and it's way past your bedtime and you're so stimulated from that TV program, you struggle to just shut your brain down and get to sleep. So obviously try and set a curfew or a time limit for phone and TV. That might be quite good to just have a time in your mind. If you want to go to your bed, say 11 o'clock, say, right, no more TV or phone after 10. And that's going to give you a full hour just to kind of wind down, relax a little bit, and help your brain calm down. I said the same, maybe cut down on your caffeine or set yourself a caffeine curfew, which is heartbreaking as someone who just loves coffee all day, every day. It's not the best to have it after a certain time of day because of like the half-life of the caffeine. So even though you stop drinking at a certain time, that's still going to be buzzing through your system for hours and hours after. You might want to switch to decaf at a certain time, maybe midday. That's kind of a common one for people if they're trying to cut down their caffeine, because like I says, the half-life kind of wears off in time for them going to sleep. So if you're a caffeine junkie like me, then you might want to cut down on that and see if that helps improve the quality of your sleep and helps you drift off. And you might want to do a brain dump. So if you are someone who lies in bed thinking about everything that's happened in the day or all the things that you need to do, you've got a massive to-do list, then it might be just worth your while keeping a notepad by your bed and writing down these things and just try and empty your mind before you go to bed, and just try and get it all out of your head so you're not lying there thinking about all these things. It's on your notepad, it's on your to-do list, and that's that taken care of. Journaling is another one. If you maybe keep a diary, or you might want to start keeping a diary, and just even talking about things that you're grateful for, things that went well during the day, things that might not have went so well, just, you know, doing whatever journaling people do. I'm not one that keeps a journal, I must say, but I think it might be quite a nice idea if you struggle to switch off at night, just to write down your thoughts and feelings of the day, or even, like I said, just doing your to-do list or just writing some stuff out just to kind of help your brain calm down. Just that act of writing might help your brain kind of chill out a little bit. Substitute with reading. So yeah, if you're someone that's kind of used to just sitting in your phone before you go to bed or watching telly, it might be nice to do something else, like reading a book, reading a magazine, colouring, like mindful colouring. That might be another thing. Doing a crossword, just doing something that isn't looking at a screen, and maybe something that's going to help you kind of feel a bit tired and drift off a little bit. Make sure you're getting enough exercise through the day. That's a big one. Also, we said before, the vicious cycle of being tired and being less willing to exercise. But if you are being active through the day, then we want to make sure that you're using up some energy, and that's going to tire you out enough so that you sleep properly in the evening. If you're very sedentary, if you're not moving much during the day, then I want you to make an active, you want to make an effort to be more active and try and use up more energy so that you're not feeling sluggish, and so you are actually feeling tired and your body's feeling tired and ready to go to sleep at night time. And then maybe listening to some relaxing music, some meditation, you might want to do some stretching. You might stick on something like Headspace or like a kind of mindfulness app that's going to tell you a wee story and help you drift off. You might even want to try something like that, because these things are really effective for some people, but they're not for others. So you've just got to do a bit of trial and error and see what works for you, and try and stick with it as well. Try and persevere. If it just doesn't happen in one night, you know, you're going to have to stick with it and build a routine, which brings me to the next slide. Well, actually, but not that one. That one's coming up. So just now I want you to rate your sleep. So before we make your routine, I want you to evaluate your current routine and see where you're at. So how many hours do you sleep? Be honest. If you sleep 4 or 5, fire that down. How many hours you actually sleep? Okay, so even if you go to your bed at 11, but you don't get to sleep till 1 or 2 in the morning, you know, be honest, not what time you go to bed at, how many hours do you actually sleep? Because we want you to be sleeping for longer. What time do you go to your bed at? Again, be honest. It might be you go to your bed at 10, but you actually don't go or turn the lights off till 11, which is the next question. So you might be sitting in your bed scrolling, and you're like, well, I go to my bed at 11, but it's like you don't actually go to sleep till 12 because you're sitting on your phone or playing games on your iPad or watching TV, something like that. And then the next one, obviously, what time do you turn the lights off? When are you ready to go to bed and try and get to sleep? What's your current bedtime routine? Do you have one? Do you maybe not even have a routine? Or is your routine maybe putting your kids to bed or watching the news before you go to bed, having a cup of tea? It might be something as simple as that. So fire down what your current routine is, because we want to, in the next slide, build on that routine and improve it, hopefully. What time do you wake up at? Obviously, just to have a look at your morning routine as well. Is your sleep disruptive? If yes, put down in what way it's disruptive. Do you wake up throughout the night? Are you quite restless? Do you not feel refreshed in the morning? Do you wake up to go to the toilet? Anything like that? And score your quality of sleep out of 10. 10 being amazing, having great sleeps, 1 being awful. Okay, so go through those and fill that in. So the next one, we're going to assess your bedroom. So your sleep surroundings, it can make a big impact on how you sleep, depending on the conditions that you sleep in. So do you have a really cluttered bedroom? Is there stuff all over your bed maybe that's annoying you, not letting you get to sleep? Is there a lot of is there clothes and stuff lying about? Maybe a tidier room would help you sleep a bit better, because I know for a fact I hate going to bed if I've got stuff lying out. I need to get that stuff put away so I can sleep, because it would just annoy me otherwise. Can you open your window in advance so your room is cool? So I mentioned that earlier. If you've got a bit of a stuffy bedroom, or maybe if it's warmer weather, maybe the sun's shining in all day and then your room's really hot come evening time, maybe you want to open the window, try and get some air in, or leave a fan on for a bit to try and cool the room down, so that when you go in, it's nice, cool conditions and help you get a better quality of sleep, rather than waking up stifling and stuffy and hopefully not having a hot flush. Have you got spare PJs and sheets in your bag? So we mentioned earlier that if you are waking up in sweat, then you want to be able to change into clean pyjamas and change into fresh sheets. So if you keep them nearby, then it means you're not going to be rummaging about in the dark in the middle of the night, trying to hunt down some pyjamas, trying to hunt down where's the sheets at. And if you're already up and disrupted, the longer you're up and moving about and trying to find things, then the more alert you're going to end up being, and the harder it's going to be for you to get back to sleep again. So maybe if you keep some pyjamas and sheets nearby your bed, then it's going to make it easier for you to do a quick change and hopefully try and get back to sleep again. And then the distractions, if you put them away, if you get your phone, maybe even the other side of the room, so you need to get up out your bed to go and get it, and you're less tempted to just turn around and have a wee scroll or have a quick peek and see what's going on. If you get your phone on silent or do not disturb, or turn it off, even better. If you've got the telly off, you're not kind of trying to fall asleep watching TV, all these things, put your distractions away and try and just get a good sleep. And then your next one, your routine. So we want to create a routine that's going to help you wind down in time for bedtime. So just like kids have, you want to establish strong routines with children to try and let them know, right, it's time for you to go to your bed. When you're brushing your teeth, right, the next thing is PJs, get to bed, go to sleep. And the same as for adults, we're just the exact same, but we are responsible for ourselves now, and we tend to put these things off and ignore them and think, why am I not getting to sleep? And it's because we've not got a really good routine. We want you to try and create something that's simple. You don't need to have some big elaborate routine that's going to take you 2 hours to do, and then you're like, there's too much to that, I'm not going to do it. You want it just to be simple, efficient, straightforward, and just helps you wind down and get ready to go to sleep. So for example, if you want to have the lights off by 11, you could set a wee reminder on your phone. So at 10:30, if you're someone that finds that time just runs away from you, before you know it, the evening's gone and you're going to bed and it's past midnight, then it might be quite helpful for you just to set a reminder on your phone or set an alarm. And it's right, now it's time for you to wind down and go to bed, maybe a half an hour before it's lights out. So yeah, this might just help you keep on track and keep yourself sticking to your plan and not letting the time get away from you, just help you be a wee bit more organised. You might want to include something like a skincare routine in your bedtime routine, and that's just like a nice little bit of self-care as well, which might be quite nice for you to do. Maybe washing off your makeup from the day, or just making your skin feel nice and clean, maybe doing a face mask or something and just relaxing for 10-15 minutes with a face mask on. Something as simple as that might be quite nice to do before you go to bed and help you kind of relax a little bit. Doing some stretching, if you're quite active, then you might benefit from that. If you've been sitting all day, that might be quite nice as well for you to do some stretching just to loosen off and help your muscles feel nice before you go to bed. Reading, have a final social media scroll. So say that this is the last time I check my phone, and then you're putting it away. And then at least that way you're not totally depriving yourself. And you can have a wee nosy and then stick the phone away. Like I said before, journaling or writing your to-do list, writing things out, it's going to help clear your mind. Doing some meditating, again, just going to help calm you down, maybe like your breathing and things like that, or doing some mindful colouring, just something nice and relaxing to help you wind down. Okay, so the next part is you're going to create your own routine now. Okay, so you get 3 steps. We're going to limit it to 3 steps because, like I said, you want it to be realistic. You don't want a big elaborate routine that you're never going to stick to. Okay, you want 3 positive things that you can do that you quite like, that you enjoy. You might look forward to doing, like he says, that face mask or sticking a candle on and just having 10-15 minutes to yourself before you go to sleep at night, or maybe putting some candles on and having a nice little stretch, anything like that that you can do in the evening. It won't take too long, it's fairly hassle-free, and you will look forward to doing it so that it just becomes a part of your routine. And you know, right, this is associated with this routine is associated with bedtime. Once you've gone through those steps, you know that it's time to go to bed and hopefully get to sleep and have a good quality of sleep. So I hope you found that quite useful, guys, going through all these things, because like I said, your sleep is so important, and we want to make sure that you're getting the best out of it that you can. Yeah, so we don't want you to be struggling with your sleep, feeling lethargic and just being stuck in that constant vicious cycle. We want you to break the cycle. We want you feeling good, feeling sharp, feeling fresh, feeling like you can go and attack your day, get the most out of your day, most out of your relationships, out of your personal life, out of your working life, out of your training sessions, eating well, all these kind of things. And they are so heavily influenced by how well you sleep and the quality of your sleep. So that is your homework for you to go through now. Go and rate your sleep, go through those questions and assess your sleep, the quality of your sleep and all those kind of things, and then create your own 3-step routine that you're going to start as of after this video. Okay, start them today, and I want you to stick with it. Those 3 steps I want you to do every single day for the rest of your time on this program, and do your best to adhere to it. Persevere. I know it might not happen straight away, and again, like I said, it's going to be a bit of trial and error. You're going to do some things that might not be for you, you might not really like, might be a bit of a faff, might be too much of an inconvenience. Yeah, so you might need to change it at some point, but just try and add these things in, create a simple routine that you can follow. And again, like I said, if you're really struggling waking up with hot flushes and all these kind of things, maybe having, you know, the anxiety, heart palpitations, we don't want you going through that. So if you haven't already, talk to your GP about HRT and discuss whether it is the right thing for you to do. Right, guys, so on that note, sweet dreams, hopefully, and I'll speak to you all soon.